Hey, we are live, and we got another episode for y'all on the FIFA Koballa podcast, and we got a very special guest, a Twitch FIFA streamer all the way from Oklahoma. We
Yes,
got
sir.
we got Ochris. How we doing?
Doing well, my friend. How you doing today?
I am doing fantastic. Now, you told me right before we went live that you did a 12-hour stream.
Oh yeah. Pretty much every day, 8 to 12 hours, something like that, every single day, pretty much lately. I looked it up. A buddy of mine was asking about it, and he was asking how many days I missed. And I looked it up in the last year. I've probably missed only about 4 days. So pretty much just stream every single day. And then we just go until we're tired or whatever. So we just
Mm-hmm.
feel like tossing out a raid and just having a good time, man.
Yeah, absolutely. So then, for your previous stream, what time did you start?
Last night was probably 8:30, I think. I tried to start between 7 and 8, but I had some stuff to take care of, so about 8:30. So
Yeah.
just whatever the math is to where I streamed in the morning. It was definitely light outside though when I stopped.
Oh, geez. So you usually stream like throughout the night?
Pretty much, yeah. We have a lot of we catch the EU people toward the end of their evening, and
Yeah.
then a lot of them stay up, half the stream, go to bed, come back, and sometimes I'm still live and they say good morning.
Okay. Nice. Um, so how long have you been streaming? Like,
It has been technically 2 years, but
okay.
I basically streamed a couple months when I first started streaming. I got affiliate, but I was like, I had some internet issues because of a massive ice storm that happened here in
Mm-hmm.
Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Our ISP is in Oklahoma City, even though I'm not there, but uh, the upload speed was like one for like 2 weeks straight, and I couldn't stream.
Mm-hmm.
um, and I kind of like got out of a rhythm, and I didn't stream for like a good few months or whatever.
Okay.
And then I started again. That would have been like a year and a half ago is when I kind of started again going, and I was doing like 2 or 3 days a week, and then over the summer is when I started to kind of hit the almost every day thing, and then
Yeah.
kind of at the beginning of this FIFA is when I started going crazy like every single day.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
2 years technically, but more like a year and a half or maybe a year plus something.
Yeah. So when did you hit affiliate?
That would have been yeah, probably maybe October 2020, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, it was just a couple months in. Like, I had, friends and family, whatever, follow the channel. And then I had some other people through the community that I already knew that came in. And, I got a raid from, like, who was it, Aminia back then. And he got me a whole bunch of follows, because I was in his stream forever. Same with, like, a few other people and that I knew in the community for a long time. Because I'd already, I've always been on Twitch or whatever and FIFA streamers channels. And I'm, friends with a lot of them. So they came in and showed some love, and I hit that affiliate, and then yeah, we had the internet issues, so I just kind of like dropped rhythm and just whatever. And I wasn't as good at it back then, so I kind of wasn't really prepared. And then I kind of got that motivation and drive back again after a little while, and I was like, all right, we gotta, yeah, I really want to do this now. This is a lot of fun. And then ever since then, just been going.
Yeah. So then, since that little the ice storm and um the pause and that after you hit affiliate, so you started back in 2021.
Yeah, it was probably February 2021, something like that. That's when I started going like three or sometimes even 4 days a week. And then, yeah, I just kind of ramped it up from there until I
Yeah.
started just going every single day.
Mm-hmm. And then lately, you just been streaming a lot, like on a daily basis, right?
Oh, yeah, every single day, unless I'm having some sort of issue or whatever. But even like, I start later on Fridays, but, because I hang out with some friends or whatever
Yeah.
from, because I lived in Texas for a long time and all my friends are down there. So we do kind of a call like this basically.
Mm-hmm.
um, and with a bunch of them, and we do whatever, talk about movies. We usually watch a movie every week and then talk about that and rate it. And then lately we've been doing some Fall Guys and stuff like that, just goofing around. And then once that call ends, then I start later on Fridays, but I still whatever, I still stream anyway
Uh-huh.
because I love it.
Yeah. So then, how? you told me that you're streaming like 8 to, I don't know if it's 8 to 12 hours. But
Yeah,
then
depending on the day, and then
yeah.
if you get tired, whatever. I don't really have like a set schedule, but
Hmm.
we just let it roll until whatever, run out of stuff to do, or I gotta go to bed.
Yeah, so then every week you're probably streaming like what, 50 to 60 hours then? If you're streaming every day?
Should probably something like that. Yeah.
Wow, that's dedication, man. Much respect to that.
And I mean, it
Yeah.
doesn't really feel like doesn't feel like it's short. It feels like I'm just having fun the entire time.
Right.
Sometimes obviously trolls pop through, whatever, that you just gotta put in their place and ban or whatever. But other than that, it's a lot of good fun. So it doesn't feel like I'm streaming that much really.
Yeah.
That's what I love about it.
Yeah, it seems like the consistency and the extensive time of your streams are what's contributing to your growth, because I know you've been growing a lot as of late.
Yeah, I just hit 3,000 followers, I think last week, and now I'm
Yeah.
already at like 32 something hundred. I've gotten like 200 follows probably in like the last 200 plus in like the last week, something like that. So obviously a lot of for some reason, some people like Pie Face and like Hectic and people like that know who I am and have rated me several times.
Nice.
So I'm not going to complain there. They, I get follows from there, and there's a lot of people that stick around from those streams and hang out every day now. And I don't know why or where they came from or how they even noticed me, but hey, I'm not going
Hmm.
to complain, man. Those guys are legends. So
Yeah, absolutely. Um, yeah, that's just first of all, congrats on 3K. That's
thank you.
a
I
that's a
appreciate
big
it, man.
that's a big milestone. And yeah, it's just crazy that you're growing so well, and you got big streamers that are rating you.
Yeah, a lot of love in this community. That's what I love about obviously FIFA can be very toxic, the actual game, but a lot of
Yeah.
the streamers show each other a lot of love, and that's what I love about the FIFA Twitch community when it comes to streamers. We all I know you've rated me,
Hmm.
a ton of people have that I love. I try to rate everybody back, but I in my streams are really weird hours, so it's kind of hard. A lot of people aren't live then, so
Yeah, honestly, I don't remember how I came across your stream. It might have possibly been one of my viewers that recommended the raid, but I don't really remember. But I do know, because I stream late as well in the evening and I'm in the West Coast. I always see you on.
oh yeah.
Yeah. So that's why, I have rated you a couple times, but I know some of my viewers do watch you. So,
Yeah, I've had a couple of them mention you here and there. Like Kabbalah did this or that or whatever thing. It's like, oh, cool, man. Yeah, because
mhm.
they'll watch you and then come over to me after you get off or something.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, absolutely. If you don't mind me asking, how
Sure.
old are you?
37.
37. Okay.
But the running joke in my stream is that I'm like 1,000 years old and I've been alive for all the major events in the history.
You're just you've been through it all, huh? For
Yeah,
centuries.
yeah. I'm pretty much the same age as like 2018 and guys like that. But obviously the beard and the gray and stuff. People think I'm a little older sometimes, so we make it a running joke. So whatever, it's fine.
Okay. 28, you're talking about Nick 28T, right?
2018, yeah. I
Yeah.
think he and I are pretty much the same age. I'm pretty sure.
Oh wow, he's like 37?
I think so. Yeah,
Oh wow. Um
close to it. He's around. It's ballpark, I think.
yeah, I mean, do you think you're like the oldest FIFA streamer, or have you seen people that are older?
Uh, I don't know. I think 2018 might technically be older than me, maybe, or maybe he's like 1 year younger. He's right around me, but yeah, we're probably if I'd gotten into this years ago, I'd be one of the OGs or whatever, like
Yeah.
Bates and guys like that. Because
Yeah.
or whatever, I didn't ever think I wanted to stream, but then tried it and I was like, this is actually a lot of fun. So
Yeah.
like I wish I had done it sooner, but hey,
Yeah.
it is what it is, right?
Yeah, for sure. Cause I would think like if you're getting in, a lot of the streamers that you see are just really young, they're like in their
Oh
early
yeah.
20s or in their teens even. So
Well,
I
something
just
great to get into if you're like, late high school or even like early, in college or something like that,
mhm.
between classes, streaming, like, there's a ton of people that I know that are like literally, just stream in between classes, like Schwartzy or like, Sensei Richie, people like that. Like they're literally going to college and then, in between classes or like, at night, they just stream and then, next day get up for class. So it's a great time to do that because you don't really go to class like it's a full-time job
Right.
and you're kind of building on two things at once at the same time. So I mean, it's a great thing to do if you're that age. Give it a shot.
Yeah, for sure. I'm 30 as well, so I would say I'm on the older side. And
Right.
so I mean, it's just I find it pretty fascinating for someone as old as you to be streaming and creating content, which is good. I have nothing against that at all, but I just think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a double-edged sword because I do attract some of the viewers that are older that kind of relate to me more. I have
Yeah.
several people in my chat that are my age or older that come to me because I'm not I'm not one of the people that's like yelling or screaming or whatever constantly, whatever. And they like, just the more chill vibes of the stream because I'm not one of those guys.
Yeah.
Um, but it is a double-edged sword because you do get people, that are like teenagers that come in and like constantly, you see the beard, whatever, and people relate that the older dudes and they come in
Hmm.
and just straight up off the bat just insult you about that or insult you about whatever. It's like obviously I don't care. It's fine.
Uh-huh.
I'm a massively thick skin. I don't care at all.
Yeah.
But it can ruin the vibe if you get a bunch of them. Hate raids, things like that, whatever. But we just ban them all and just move on with our lives. It's fine.
Right, right. It is it is pretty interesting to like in our streams to come across people that are adults that still play the game that are interested in watching streamers. And then I would have viewers that have like kids and have a family, but they'll still stop by and tune in or lurk and just, hang out.
Yeah, one of my longest viewers, one of my mods, just
Hmm.
his girl just had a kid, so he sits there with the baby and like watches me with the headphones on.
Yeah, uh-huh. For
But
sure.
yeah, there's several of them, my viewers that actually do have kids. So
Yeah.
uh, I don't, but hey.
Okay, for sure. Um, so what about the FIFA journey? When did you start playing FIFA?
So technically, I have been playing FIFA for since forever. I played footy games like on Sega or on Nintendo, whatever.
Yeah.
So I played FIFA off and on like forever because football was my first sport to play as a kid too. So like I've always liked it. I
Okay.
kind of fell out with it for a little bit and then came back to it. But yeah, when it comes to FIFA, like I had like FIFA '06. Like I've had games all the way back to those times.
Mm-hmm.
Xbox, original Xbox, and Xbox 360. I had FIFA games on that too. But then I stopped playing console, so I missed some of like that middle like 15 whatever range. But once it came to PC, because I stopped kind of playing on console. Xbox 360 was my last console. So when the game came to PC on FIFA 17, I might have been 16, but 17 is when I first kind of discovered it again on PC. I was like, okay, I'm going to give this a shot again because I always loved these games. So I played 17 very casually, just single player modes. I tried the journey, all that kind of stuff. And then 18 is when I kind of delved into Ultimate Team for the first time. Like I opened a couple free packs, whatever, in 17. So my account technically says that I've been in Ultimate Team since like what 2016. I think it was like December 2016, something like that. On FIFA 17, but 18, like Festival of Football, is when I discovered like Run the Foot Market. He's the first person I ever subbed to on Twitch.
Mm-hmm.
It was FIFA 18 during Festival of Football, and all those gold upgrade packs you could just do over and over because every single special card was in packs. That was what kind of got me hooked on Ultimate Team. And then when 19 started, that's when I went hardcore on Ultimate Team. And then
Okay.
ever since then, I've gone hardcore every year,
Mm-hmm.
learning to trade, doing all that kind of stuff. Obviously, if you're falling around the foot market first, then you're probably trying to trade. So,
Yeah, for sure. So you're actually playing on PC.
yep, 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 yep.
Okay. Wow. Okay. So then, what made you get into streaming then?
I kind of just saw all these guys doing it and having a good time. I had a lot of friends that were in the community already. Like I said, been in a bunch of these people's streams since FIFA 18. And I just said, oh, why not just give it a shot just for fun? Just, kind of think around, just have a good time, talk to a couple people.
Yeah.
And I started to love it, so I just kept doing it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. So then, who were the guys that you're watching before you got into streaming, besides Nick Run the Foot Market?
Minia was probably my second one that I subbed. I've always loved Slater. Oh, there's so many people. I'd never really watched 2018 that much. Never really watched Bates and like some of the big ones. I Castro was obviously the first one I discovered because he is the biggest
Right.
on Twitch. But even back then, his chat was like flying. You couldn't really talk. So I liked Nick's because when I first started watching Nick, it was like he was actually at like the just a couple hundred people vibe instead of
Mm-hmm.
5 to 10,000 people.
Mm-hmm.
So back then, he every single message he basically responded to because he could. Obviously, you can't at this level, but that's just how it goes.
Right.
But yeah, there's so many people. There was Leaks. I don't know if you remember her. She streamed for a little
Yeah.
bit, but then she had to stop. Um, I was in her chat all the time. There's so many people that I've watched. A ton of people that I love in this community. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. We got Shore Fan in the chat. What's up, Shore Fan? How we doing? So wow. So at the time, when you're watching like Nick Run the Foot Market, he only had like 100 average viewers, and he was
yeah, it was a
replying to
couple
your message.
hundred.
Okay.
Yeah, those FIFA 18 like days, he wasn't. He was obviously doing well,
Uh
but
huh.
he wasn't like at the level he's at now. Obviously, he just keeps growing and growing and growing, which is amazing. Love the guy.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, back then it was like the first time that I ever subbed to somebody on Twitch was him, and I did a wager on those gold upgrade packs. And I said,
Yeah.
if you don't pack a special card in this pack, I'll sub. And he didn't, so I subbed, and I've been a sub ever since.
Okay. Oh wow. So you've been subbing every month
Yeah,
since.
he's basically where my Twitch Prime is, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would he, if you like message him in his live stream, would he like remember you, or would he talk to you?
Oh yeah, yeah. I actually
Okay.
he and I DM sometimes. Like I'm a mod in his channel. I've been there so long. He just made me a mod.
Oh, you're a mod.
So
Oh
yeah,
wow.
yeah, yeah. So
Okay.
he's yeah, yeah. He definitely knows me. He and I are I'm not saying we're friends, but we've chatted here and there. In DMs, whatever, on Twitter, all that type of stuff. So yeah, I love Nick. He's a great guy.
Oh wow, that's awesome. I didn't know you were a mod for Nick. That's
Yeah,
pretty
he
cool,
did
man.
it a couple years ago. Actually, he just like randomly, you're always here. Here's a mod, and he needed more help. So whatever.
Yeah, yeah,
He knew I wasn't a weirdo, so just,
yeah. Actually, Shore Fan, who's in the chat, he was on the podcast too. He's a streamer. He's a mod for Hectic TKS.
okay, awesome. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So it's pretty cool running into people who are mods for like bigger streamers.
Yeah, and I don't, because of my hours, I'm not there every day.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
If you start at like 7 p.m. and stream for 12 hours, then I'm basically streaming until he's about to start. So half the time he's streaming, I'm sleeping. But when I was able to watch him while I worked, I would just always be in there, just time people out, banning people, whatever, when I could.
Yeah.
But I still help out when I can. But he just has like a massive list of mods, so he's always got to help. So
You could with your stream schedule, you could probably rate him, no?
I know I almost can. I think he starts like usually like an hour after I end, so I got to
Okay.
start like just doing that little extra, and then just start rating him every day.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, absolutely. We got Footy King in the chat. What's up, Footy King? We're doing good, man. How you doing? Um, oh man, that's pretty awesome. How long have you been subbed to him?
Since yeah, that FIFA 18 uh, festival of football, whenever that was. So that would be, let's see, I don't even know how many months that is. That's a crazy amount.
Has to be over 3 years, right?
Yes. Let me see. I have his. Yeah, I'm gonna open his Twitch right now. because I can look at my sub badge here. I have the 47 month, so 3.5.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh wow. So you're
So yeah,
almost
I've
at
been
the
there.
4 year mark. Just
Yeah, I've
one
been
more
there. I've
month.
been there forever. There's people that have been there longer than me, but yeah, I've been a part of his stream forever, man. Love that guy.
Mm-hmm. Awesome, man. Um, so then, like, how has your streaming experience been since you started?
It's been great. I mean, since the very beginning, when I was just doing a few days a week, whatever. Obviously, you just only have a couple people in chat. That's just the natural progression. For any streamers out there that are starting out, just know for a while you're not going to have much going on, so you have to kind of create your own content, talk a lot, engaging to nobody. But if somebody's watching and lurking, you still want to be engaging to them, even though you feel like you're just talking to yourself.
Yeah.
So that those beginning stages can be tough. I mean, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about there too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But once you start getting some people interacting in the chat and stuff, I mean, it's just a great time, constantly talking, whatever. Now when I go live, I have people saying hi before I'm even done with the intro screen. Whereas before it was like, you're there for 20 minutes without somebody talking.
Right.
So
Mm-hmm.
you always have people to talk to, and you're just chilling out and just having a good time, blasting music and, just enjoying it. So that's how my, I want to do more different games but at the moment there's still so much to do on FIFA that I haven't really branched out a ton. I've done a little Rocket League. I did some Mass Effect when that remaster came out. What else was it? Battlefield. We did some Battlefield when that came out. Halo when that came out. Fall Guys lately once in a while because I didn't get on the Fall Guys train when it first came out. And having a great time with all that too. When you get viewers that actually want to come in and play with you as well, it's just amazing time. But yeah, I mean, my experience with streaming has just been very positive. Obviously there are trolls and stuff that come through, but whatever. I mean, that doesn't affect me at all. Like one guy came through last night that we had to ban because he just come through right away toxic and just boom, he's gone. No worries.
Mm-hmm.
So as long as you don't let that stuff affect you, then it's a great time.
Yeah, absolutely. Footy King asked whether on YouTube and Twitch. You're on just Twitch, right?
Yes, I have plans to make a YouTube channel for highlights and stuff like that, but I don't know how to video edit, so I have to learn how to do that first. But I do want to do that.
Yeah, definitely. He said he'll drop a follow on Twitch.
Oh, I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Footy King's also a FIFA streamer on YouTube. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Well, I'll look you up and drop you a follow back or a sub back on YouTube, man.
Hey, there you go. Let's go. Yeah, I mean, the YouTube part with the video editing, it is pretty time consuming,
Yeah, and I don't want to do like just a copy paste of like the full VOD, me talking to chat. They can't even see the chat. It's just not, there's no music either because I have it set up to where the VODs don't have music. And
yeah,
I don't want to do that. That's like super lazy and nobody cares to watch a 12-hour video. So I'm not going to do stuff like that. So I want, I do have a TikTok, but it's just I would put random clips on there from, just goofy stuff that happens on streams. So it's not really the same thing either. I don't really want to do a clip channel because I don't know, nobody cares about that either right now. That's more like the TikTok thing. But yeah, I do want to learn how to video edit because that's another thing that I have had people request that I do YouTube.
Yeah.
I just don't know how yet. So, but we'll get there. We'll get there.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Yeah, UAve says if you start posting on TikTok, it will help a lot with the growth. I don't know if you've noticed that while using TikTok.
I don't know. I don't know if that helped or not. I mean, I just started doing TikTok like pretty recently.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that has helped really that much, but I'm still trying to do it. I haven't posted on TikTok in like a little bit, but I was going hard for a minute. But yeah, I'm just basically doing clips on there. Like what was it? I got Team of the Season Ronaldo Red or something. Put that on there, and one of my videos was me discarding or putting Moments Eusebio into an SBC because he was a dupe, but I didn't make it look like he was a dupe, so whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And that one got like a ton of views, but the other ones, whatever. But yeah, I still want to do keep on doing that because I mean people do talk about that being really good for growth, but I don't really know how to even correlate whether that's true or not for me yet, but I'm not going to complain. I'll probably just keep on just putting clips on there for now. I don't really do, any of the meme stuff for TikTok, like, whatever. I'm not really the type to do that, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Imagine me up there trying to like dance or something. Yeah,
Yeah.
no thanks.
Yeah. No, I know like some streamers that use TikTok and it has contributed to their growth. Like they
Yeah.
they told me they got a lot of followers coming through TikTok. So it has
Yeah, see,
been.
nobody has
Mhm.
come into my chat and actually specifically told me they came from TikTok. So
Mhm.
that's where I don't like know how to really correlate whether or not it's helping or not, because there could have been a couple, but I'm still going to keep doing it just for fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know that it's absolutely, there's certain people that absolutely it helps their growth, because I mean, I think it helps also if you already have like a bigger follower base that help generate the what's a good word for it, the original traction, like the like right when you post it you get a bunch of likes, and so you start to get on the trending pages, things like that.
Yeah.
So if you're already kind of bigger, then you're going to get even more traction and followers from it. So me at my stage, my TikTok account, I have like less than 100 followers or something, so it's not going to be something that ever blows up and makes me grow like crazy, but I'm sure it can generate a couple people from me. But yeah, for some of those bigger people, they just got to post a video and boom, everybody sees it.
Yeah.
Which is amazing
Uh.
for them.
Mhm. Yeah. I know that it could only help. I mean, it won't hurt you.
Yeah,
If you do
exactly.
use, yeah. So could
Yeah.
only be beneficial and not damaging to the growth of your content. But in regards to YouTube, yeah, like for me, like my YouTube channel, I just basically post up like pack openings that I've done. So that's pretty
Yeah.
much the extent of the content. Every once in a while, I'll put in like different types of FIFA videos, like gameplay or like weekend league stuff. But it's just that pack openings for the most part, and just posting up the podcast.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, the pack opening thing is obviously a really good idea. That is something I've thought about doing, but again, video editing.
Yeah.
Um, and then also, I did have people like requesting that I do like a career mode videos and stuff. I'm like,
Uh
I
huh.
don't know if that's like me, but that would be, some that there's always options that go down that road, because there's a ton of people that love watching career mode. I
Right.
don't really understand. I've never watched career mode content, so I don't
Yeah.
really get it. Um, but there's a ton of people that love watching that stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
And I don't know if I would ever go down that route, but that is always something that is interesting. But next year, like gameplay could be something I wouldn't mind putting up there, some
Mm-hmm.
highlights, because right now gameplay is like so spotty on PC, especially in this region. Like nobody in NA plays on PC,
Mm-hmm.
especially in the middle of the country, Oklahoma. Like, no,
Mm-hmm.
nobody in this state plays this game practically. Um, so for me, gameplay is horrible. It's either really good or really bad. There's like no in between. But with crossplay next year coming, hoping that is going to help that a lot. And then maybe I would actually be proud to post some gameplay at some point. But at the moment, I'm not. So I
Mm-hmm.
don't.
Yeah, I actually have a PC account as well. It's like my alternate account.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I have played on it, and the reason I got it is because some of my friends actually got FIFA on PC. So
Oh, okay.
initially, when they got it, like I was just playing with them, and it was like my other RTG. But I haven't played on that account in a while.
Well, next year there's going to be a lot more of an influx on PC, uh,
Hmm.
because of crossplay. Now people don't
Yeah,
have to go buy a new console.
sure.
They already have a PC. They're going to just make a new account there because it's going to be next gen also.
Right.
So you basically just may as well play on PC instead of going out and buying a brand new PlayStation or something that you can't afford. But if you already have a PC, just hop over there instead of playing on old gen. Um, Obviously, no crossplay market could deter some people. I have a couple of theories as to why they did that, but I don't know. I don't think it's going to be that bad with the extra players and stuff. I think it's going to be just normal like it is this year. Because PC market actually this year was not bad compared to the last few years, because we have had more of an influx of people already onto PC. So hopefully that's not going to be a problem. I was planning on doing like a pro clubs thing, like a stream pro clubs thing, but they said that's not a crossplay, so guess that's not happening now. But maybe for 24, we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
Who
Yeah.
knows?
Do you like the gameplay on PC?
I do,
Okay.
but the problem is that they added the server in Dallas, right? So I get like 20 ping. Great, that's fine. But half or maybe even like 75% of my games are against people in Mexico because a lot more people play on PC in Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
And they're playing on like 120 ping versus my 20. And that makes gameplay just like insufferably bad at times. Like last night, for example, in the Brazil Cup, I couldn't move my players all 5 games. It was horrific. But
Yeah.
then I went 5-0 in that cup on the first day, and it was fantastic gameplay. So I who knows? But I think crossplay is going to fix a lot of that for a lot of people. Like, because even in some regions, it's a lot more Xbox heavy than PlayStation heavy, and so PlayStation players are getting worse gameplay than Xbox because they're having to match people further away. And then once we get crossplay, it's going to fix that for everybody. I'll be
Mm-hmm.
playing people in Texas now instead of Mexico, and both of us are going to be on like 20 ping, or they'll be on 10, I'll be on 20. It's going to be so much better.
Yeah.
But
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, but now I have to play a bunch of pros probably. So Joxon and Alan Avi and a lot of those guys in the Dallas area are just gonna slap me up every weekend. But it's fine as long as I can move my players. I'll take my beating. It's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, I mainly play on the PS, and when I'm comparing both the gameplays, I mean, I actually like the PS more. The PC just feels a bit like it feels slower and less responsive when I compared the two, just in general.
I think a lot of it has to do with like graphical settings and maybe graphics card, things like that too.
Mm-hmm.
Because on my PC gameplay, everybody says it looks smoother than their games, and that's on stream, which is not even showing my true FPS. Because I'm at 120 FPS.
Yeah.
So everybody comes into my stream and is like, "Oh, the menus are so smooth. What is this? What settings do you have?" Like they have no idea.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like it's just PC, bro. But it depends on how because the gameplay is slower if you're matching people. You said you're West Coast. So if you were matching people, yeah, PC players on West Coast have it bad. I mean, like,
Oh, really? Okay.
yeah, because I mean, you guys have a Portland server, and then sometimes you're connecting to Dallas because your ping is probably what, at least 40.
Yeah.
Well, actually, lately it's probably lower because I think they added an LA server like
Yeah,
2
that's what
weeks
I
ago or
heard.
something. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
I
before
heard.
that, you were probably getting 40 ping at best for like every game, right?
Yeah, both PC and PS. I was getting like 40.
Yeah, and so PS, you're matching more people that are probably around 40 also, but then PC you were
Right.
probably you were getting like 40, and your opponents are probably getting like 120,
Mm-hmm.
150 because you're matching people in like Mexico and stuff. So uh I don't know. I would say try it again once this crossplay. I bet it'll feel better because I can't even imagine how bad PC is on the West Coast. Like, because I'm near a server now and it just feels way better. But I still get those horrible games where it just feels so sluggish and unplayable.
Yeah, I mean, like for my PC too. Well, I play on a laptop, and I also stream off my laptop. So, probably in terms of specs, it's not that high performing. So that could definitely contribute to it.
That is probably part of it. Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't played the PC account since they included the new server in LA, and I didn't know where the new server was. Someone told me it was in California, but I guess I could confirm with you that it's in Los Angeles, right?
Somebody told me LA. Yeah. And,
Okay.
I have a few viewers that are in LA and they were getting like 10 pings. So I think it like has to be like LA or at the very least like Ontario, something like that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Ontario, interesting. But yeah, I have been getting like 10 ping, which has been great. Playing weekend league since that adjustment, and I've actually been playing better, and the gameplay has been good. I think one of the most frustrating things when I was playing, and before that, I think a couple months before that, I was playing on a full screen, like a flat screen TV, as opposed to a monitor.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you get the lower FPS on that as well. Yeah.
Yeah, so couple months back, I was playing like on 40, 50 ping. Didn't before the servers was in California, and I was playing on a TV. So
Yep.
the gameplay was definitely less responsive, not as smooth. And I
Hmm.
know I feel like it affected me the most uh in terms of like costing me games when they're constant pressuring me and I can't move as quickly
Oh
or
yeah,
pass as
exactly.
quickly.
I have
Yeah.
that problem constantly. If the other person has better gameplay than you and they turn on press, it's GG's, man. You can't do anything.
Yeah, but then now that I play on a monitor and I'm playing on 10 ping, like the constant pressure doesn't really get to me. I could like maneuver through it so much
Yep.
better. And I'm
It
just
is
like,
it's night and day, man. Night and day.
yeah. And then before, I'm like capping out at like 12 wins, before these adjustments. But now, if I'm close to like even hitting rank 3 in week in week,
Nice.
So,
Yeah, I have like
just
a
yeah, go ahead.
command in my chat because of this game, the way the gameplay is. I have a command in my chat when people come in and do the record command. It just
Mhm.
says the game is too bad to care because I just don't even bother keeping a record because of how bad the gameplay is in my region.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to hopefully having that same experience you're having now because right now at least half my weekend league games feel like I'm fighting EA and the opponent.
Mhm.
Probably more than half, to be honest. So I get my 11s. Sometimes I even have to get 9 because it's just I can't play. I just start just giving away wins because I just don't want to play anymore. But like FIFA 19 and 20, I would finish. I was almost hitting elite half the time. You know, 20 out of
Oh,
like almost 20 out of 30 wins, whatever. And now I can barely scrape 11 sometimes.
I see.
It feels like but back then there was no Dallas server, so it's interesting. I have a lot of theories about how they have ping differential worked out in the back end, in the coding.
Yeah.
But I noticed that when I got a better server location, the gameplay got better, but it also got worse on the worst end. So,
Mm.
but because I think that's how they handle ping differential. Before I was getting like 50 ping every game, and it was actually a little bit more consistent. Now it's
Mhm.
more inconsistent when I have 20 ping.
Mhm.
It's very annoying. But I'm pretty sure that they, artificially, it's like the lag compensation thing that everybody talks about,
Yeah.
artificially inflate your gameplay to make it worse to match the opponent's ping.
Mhm.
But actually, your gameplay is becoming actually worse than your opponent's because the inflation is too much. I don't know. That's like that's my theory, pretty solid theory,
Interesting.
because I play one guy over and over and over again. He loves coming in and talking trash after we play every single time. But he comes in and he's like, I have to explain this to him every single time that he has like 120, 150 ping when he plays me, and I have 20. And it's like, dude, like they are artificially like making my gameplay worse to match your bad ping. And
Mhm.
it actually makes my gameplay worse than yours overall. Because having bad ping is better than having sluggish gameplay, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Because like they literally slow your players down, it feels like
Mhm.
artificially, like, and make them slower in the game. And
Mhm.
so he doesn't even press me. Like he told me a bunch of times he never uses constant pressure, but it feels like he is
I see.
because of what like. There's like a way that because of the way that they have that inflated, they actually make it to where like one team's players are actually more aggressive than the other, like
Mhm.
naturally,
Mhm.
without actually having to use tactics. It's kind of insane. So I think crossplay is going to help a lot with all that stuff. It's going to help you, especially even more than what that new server even did. We'll see, but I think that crossplay is going to be huge, huge for FIFA. I don't care. I wish they had it implemented on more things. Pro clubs, whatever. But this is a great start at the very least. And somebody said that it might come for other modes like throughout the year. It's not going to be just dead all year. So,
Mhm.
but we'll see. I'm very optimistic about crossplay and FIFA gameplay. Like a lot of people are going to be complaining a lot less about gameplay, I think.
Okay. For sure. So when you go to like when you're playing at friendlies, right? And let's say you play a guy in the UK. If you're the one hosting the game and you send the invite to the person, your opponent in UK, does the guy who's hosting it have the advantage?
I don't think so, because it's peer to peer as far as I'm aware for friendlies.
Okay.
For off or for play a friendlies. But if you're, on actual friendly mode online, that's on servers. But I think it's peer-to-peer if you're just connecting directly to one person manually. Okay. So I think that it's bad for both.
Okay. It is bad for both, but I guess would the guy that's hosting it be a little bit have more responsiveness?
I think I played somebody the other day that was in Sweden, and they, I think, hosted.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like my gameplay was still decent, and they were in Sweden. So
okay.
I don't think hosting makes a difference, but I don't know for sure.
Mm-hmm. Because
I think it's kind of random.
Yeah, people have mentioned that, like when they're playing friendlies or when I've actually hosted tournaments, and like people, like I had some people in NA, some in, the UK, and they would always mention like, oh, people that host have a little bit of an advantage.
Yeah, I just don't know if it's. I think it's hard to even know.
Yeah,
for sure,
mm-hmm.
really, because you're basically like going off of two people saying, "Oh, I had bad gameplay," and then they have to compare it to their normal gameplay, so you don't know which one actually had the better gameplay. And
yeah,
I think it's actually impossible to really know whether that's true or not, unless you do like extensive testing with like one friend and both you take turns hosting, and you have to like. Stand there and like test your left stick responsiveness with each other back and forth. Like that's the only way to really know, but I don't even think that would even be consistent. So I don't know. I don't really think that that's the thing. It could be a slight advantage, if anything, but I doubt it.
Mm-hmm. So for you, what was your best finish in Weekend League?
This year, I think I got a 14 once or something, but yeah, it's whatever. I usually like last year I just stopped gold 3 all year because it's the same problem. I literally have like a channel emote of gold 3 warrior whatever because I just didn't care. You just got your rewards, get out of there. Same with 11 this year. Just hit 11. 14 would be nice for the especially right now with the tots pack or whatever. But I can't try hard when the game doesn't let me try hard, if that makes sense. Like it just made me more mad if I'm really trying, but I'm still just getting absolutely boned by gameplay. Like I just don't want to deal with that. So
for sure,
just pop my 11 and get out of there, man.
yeah, for sure. So then, it is like the end of July. Why are you still playing FIFA?
I'm having a good time.
Okay.
A lot of my community is still playing. I do still have the people come in and they're like, this is a dead game. What are you doing or whatever? But those are usually not my regulars, so it doesn't matter. I don't care what they think. But a lot of my people are still in there grinding packs, whatever. We get those 85 by 10s. That's just a good time. We're toward the end of footies, we're going to get those repeatable again, I'm sure. They're not going to make it to where it's like repeatable every 2 days the whole time. We're going to get that one unlocked, unlimited at some point, and that's going to be a great time. That was an amazing time last year. As they keep adding more and more stuff to packs, I also just got a lot more coins because I packed tradable St. Max out of weekend rewards. So I got a cool little 840k out of that, funding even more player picks to have a good time. And just got Ronaldinho last night from the Brazil Prime or Moments pack. And I've been wanting him all year, so now I get to use him. So there's just a lot of reasons. There's a lot of players being released that are fun to use. So I don't know. I just, I like FIFA. There's some other games that I do want to stream, but I keep on just saying I'm going to do it, and then I end up playing FIFA all night because I'm just having a good time. So,
So genuinely, you still enjoy playing the game at this time of the year, and I'm sure you're having a good time in your streams as well.
Yeah, no, we do a lot of menu content, so that helps. Like if I was just a gameplay streamer, then I would probably be losing my mind if I only played like rivals and stuff. But I haven't touched, I've probably played like 10 rivals games since the reset at the most. I guess I'll have to do that today and tomorrow to get the rewards or whatever. But because I think I'm at like 4 or 5 wins or something like that, maybe. And there's a lot of cut modes coming out and stuff for gameplay, whatever. I do some drafts, but in general, like the most gameplay I do is Weekend League.
Yeah. Okay.
So mostly we're hanging out, like, I'm talking to the chat, crafting packs, and just, vibing out. That's what kind of makes it more fun, probably. If I was just doing that alone at home, not streaming, then maybe I'd be playing other stuff too. But
for sure. So it would be safe to assume that you're gonna play all the way through till 23 comes out, right?
Yeah, but I'll be, especially after the 85 by 10s are done and stuff like that, I'll probably be mixing in other games,
Okay. Yeah.
like when Madden releases, I already told my stream we're gonna do some Madden like when that
Okay.
drops.
Mm-hmm.
I still want to try F1. I installed it, but I haven't played it yet.
Okay.
There's some other stuff that I do want to do. I haven't done Halo in a while, and I love playing Halo with some viewers, online matches, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So there will be some other stuff that I mix in as the year progresses, but I will still be popping on FIFA here and there.
Yeah.
Probably at the very least at the start of every stream, and then if there's not much else to do, then pop onto something else.
Yeah. So what I've heard from a couple of the streamers is that if you stream FIFA at this time of the year, usually the viewership and the growth, especially for smaller streamers, is a lot bigger as opposed to other times of the year. Do you see that as well?
I have been having good growth. And I heard that last summer as well. Yeah, because a lot of the bigger streamers are like doing Fall Guys or whatever else. So
Right.
if you have people that are looking for year-round FIFA content, it is a very good time to be streaming FIFA and trying to get more followers, growth, whatever. I do agree with that. Yes.
Yeah, I would say last year too, when I was streaming at this time of the year, the viewership has gone up and a lot of people have tuned in more. Um, and I noticed that too this year too. I'm still streaming consistently and the growth has been, I would say, a lot higher than um as opposed to like, a couple months ago.
Right.
Yeah.
It makes sense because yeah, I mean, a couple months ago, especially during talks and stuff like that, people are watching the Castros or the Run the Foot Markets or whatever,
Yeah.
watching them just crack packs over and over. Just trying to pack tots and they're vibing watching that. But this time of year, a lot of those guys are doing Run the Foot Market did that a long time doing Pez or whatever or
Yeah.
Fall Guys or whatever else. Same with Castro or whoever else. I look at my viewer or my the channels I follow and I look down and I see the FIFA people and I just see Fall Guy. Like yesterday, I saw like 5 of the bigger ones all were playing Fall Guys. None of them
Yeah.
were even on FIFA. So, uh, that is good advice for anybody looking to get into this. Summertime, just grind FIFA, and people are going to pop in that wouldn't have usually popped in because you're probably going to be one of the fewer people streaming FIFA. You don't have as much competition. I guess that's the best way to put it.
Yeah, for sure. Um yeah, another streamer, Short Stack. I don't know if you know. Do you know Short Stack?
Oh yeah. I love short stack.
Yeah. We had him on the podcast recently, and he told me that, or he told me before that podcast too, was that guys like actually Nick Run the Foot Market, he blew up at around this time while still streaming FIFA. Is that true? Did you notice that like in one of the summers of FIFA where he just kind of grew
I think
drastically?
18 when I was there when I first started watching him. I think that was when he was starting to blow up, and that was Festival of Football. So it was summertime, and
Okay.
then he kept on like 19 is when he started getting huge. But yeah, it's that summer, like 18 team of the season, like through the summer, he did see a lot of growth that year.
Hmm. Okay. Yeah. So, even Short Stack was saying like, oh, this could be a good time where you might see a couple people just kind of blow up like crazy.
It's true. You know, it's that whole thing with like a power vacuum. if
Hmm.
if there's not a lot of people doing it, then there's a lot of room for growth in that vacuum until they come back and start doing it again for the launch. But if you can win people over and have them want to just stay around your channel and not really watch the other people that are not doing it right now, then even if you get like 20 out of every 20 followers, like 2 stick around for the next FIFA, like that's a W for the channel.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So, besides crossplay, is there anything else that you're looking forward to in FIFA 23?
Well, I mean, I guess I'm gonna have next gen because PC this year you didn't have the next gen option. It's only for next year is the first year we're gonna have it. I don't know if I'm looking forward to that or not though, because a lot of people complain about it. So,
Hmm.
but that is going to be interesting at the very least to see how that works or see how it plays because they're doing the whole like what is it, high promotion 2.0 or whatever they call it. So hopefully they're going to fix some of the like drop back issues that are plaguing next gen this year. Maybe that's what they're calling it, because they're going to change the way players move completely again. But the AI is way too defensive on next gen, so I'm not really looking forward to that if it's going to be a problem again. But I am looking forward to trying next gen. If it stinks, then I don't know what to do, because I won't have that option to go back and play old gen like console players do. But I don't know. I'm just looking forward to a new year, the new grind. Really, like the start of every FIFA is like the best time of the year. So that's really, if we're being honest, what I'm really looking forward to.
Mm-hmm. But then the PC FIFA version right now, that's on the old gen though, right?
Yeah, we didn't have the option for next gen because EA said, what did they say? Our computers aren't good enough to handle next gen requirements or something like that, I think is what they said. And then I guess they said we weren't getting it for another couple years, and then boom,
Really?
now we have it. So I guess they changed their mind, which is good.
When you're playing on PC though, do you come across more hackers?
No.
Okay.
I would have said yes in like 17, 18, maybe even 19. But you don't really see it anymore. And they did say in that pitch notes that they're coming out with some new even more security, anti-hacking measures, whatever, which I don't even think are really that necessary at this point. Because like originally their anti-hacking was you couldn't click off the screen, or you would just get a loss if you changed focus from the game, because people would change focus and go to their, their trainer or whatever, and like up their player stats or whatever they were doing, because that's how people generally hack. Green time finesse hacks, sort of just green time finesses or green times every shot, or going in and like increasing your gold players to where they're like a bunch of 99 stats or whatever. But nobody really does that anymore, because the accounts are it's too hard to build an account now. It's too pay to win.
Okay.
Like you're risking too much now. But like 17 and 18, things like that, you could just go buy a bunch of gold cards on a brand new account and start hacking again. You'd be fine. But now they actually do ban people a lot more now. I've had people that I reported that I played a long time that I reported several times, and then now I never play them anymore. So I'm assuming they had to get a new account or got banned. So it hasn't been a problem for the last like couple years. I've saw like one person doing the green time thing maybe like last year, and that's been about it.
How'd you know he was doing a green time hack?
It was every single shot, and it was even doing it like when the ball was like, it would be a corner header and I would intercept it, and his players were like green timing at nothing. There was no ball to hit. They were green timing without a ball there. Like it was very strange. You could just kind of tell something was funky.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, because I guess my perception it was that PC you'll come across more hackers. So going into 23, if there were crossplay, it would kind of suck dealing with PC players if there was a lot more hacking. But
yeah, a lot of people were worried about that. But that stigma exists because of like 17 and 18 mostly.
Okay, got it.
And everybody just always has it in their mind that PC is full of hackers now because of that. But yeah, it's not really a problem anymore. So everything is, I mean, honestly, I stream the game, so we would know, my viewers would be like, oh, this guy's hacking. But I've never once seen any of my viewers ever accuse one of my opponents of hacking. And I haven't either all year at all. There was like that one person last year, and that's about it.
Yeah. So even this FIFA, I got a chance to do crossplay friendly with a couple Xbox next gen players, and I found it pretty interesting. I just thought it was cool, the fact that I could play an Xbox guy now.
Oh yeah, I mean, I the interesting part next year for crossplay for PC is the whole market thing, because we're not going to have the cross market, but we do have cross play. So I don't know if that gives, I think that puts us at a disadvantage when it comes to players, because I think our stuff is going to be more expensive. So we have to pay more for the same players, but we're still playing against people who have to pay less for the same players. So they're probably going to, on average, have better teams. That's my one worry about that, but I don't know that it's going to be that big of a difference because EA love to manipulate the market. They know what they're doing. So I think that they will do that and they'll keep it under control. So we'll see. But I still don't know why they didn't give crossplay, cross market to PC. Like there's like two theories. One of them I don't think is true, which is like maybe they think PC has like bots to snipe stuff on console, but like that doesn't really matter because the web app exists, unless they're gonna like completely find a way on the web app to make it to where you can't use those, add-ons or whatever to snipe cards and stuff. If they have a way to eliminate that, then maybe they're worried about bots on console on PC or something on the market. But I don't like that one. Doesn't really make sense to me. What I really think it is because of EA Play Pro, which is only on PC. We get unlimited access to the game right when it drops early access. We don't have the 10-hour wait or the 10-hour limit. Like literally I can play it 10 hours a day right from early access drop. So maybe that, and then also the FIFA points thing for pre-orders. If you have EA Play Pro, you don't get the pre-order FIFA points all at once. You get them in 3-monthly installments. That's all I can think of. Like, honestly, I think the reason they didn't do cross-market is EA Play Pro only, which is weird. But I think that has to do with their rationale. Because I can't think of any other reason. I don't know. Can you?
No, I can't. I don't know.
Yeah. Like there's no bot. People don't use bots on PC on the actual game. They use it on web app, just like console players do. So like that doesn't make any sense. So it has to be the EA Play Pro thing, in my opinion. We get the game unlimited. Console players don't, and then we get the FIFA points spread out. Like those are two huge differences. Like the only difference is really console and PC next year.
I see.
And that's the only thing I can think of is like that has to do with that.
I see. That's interesting.
Maybe they'll address it in 24 and change the way EA Play Pro works with the pre-order stuff, because we still get all the pre-order stuff. We just don't get the FIFA points at the same time, and we get unlimited access. So it's like kind of the same crap. But I don't know. That's all I can think of with that. It's very weird. And I've asked people in my chat what they think, and none of them have any idea either. So
yeah, that's interesting. Do you have any thoughts on pro clubs not being cross-platform?
Yeah, I do think that's it is very disappointing because like I was saying earlier, I did want to do pro clubs with viewers, but like none of them play on PC. So there's a couple, but not very many. So I really did want to do that. We had plans to do that as soon as they mentioned that it was going to be crossplay. So a lot of them are disappointed. I am too, but I'm not disappointed to a bad level. Like it sucks, but like the biggest thing I went to crossplay for was literally gameplay in online modes like Weekend League and Rivals. So this not happening is disappointing, and I feel for the pro clubs community like hardcore, because those guys, they love their pro clubs. And so I feel really bad for them. For me, I'm not that affected because I don't play pro clubs ever. But I do feel for all those guys because, when that's like what you play FIFA for, that has to be like crushingly disappointing to not get it from the jump. Although we may get it down the road in 23 is what I was reading. So
yeah, hopefully
they won't, take 8 to 10 months to do it, but they might. You never know.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm shifting gears a little bit right now, and I want to ask. I've mentioned before to you that you're like the first FIFA streamer from Oklahoma that I know. So where you're at, I mean, do you come across a lot of FIFA players?
No, most people are like avid American football fans in this state. This state is like American football is the number one sport in this state by far. I mean, a lot of them like basketball now that Oklahoma City Thunder are here, but they didn't even care about basketball that much back when the Thunder were the Supersonics. So once they moved here, a lot of people became basketball fans. But like American football is the sport of this state. Oklahoma Sooners, like college football fans. There are a bunch of people who are Kansas City fans for the NFL, or Dallas, kind of a split between those two things. And then, when it comes to college football, it's like Oklahoma State, like those two, they all want to fight each other constantly.
Yeah, for sure.
That's like the biggest thing here.
Yeah, right. So have you always lived in Oklahoma?
No, I was born here, but we ended up moving to San Antonio, Texas. I
Okay.
lived there for 25 years, and then I moved back up here because a lot of my family, like my mom and all that kind of stuff, ended up moving back here.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously when I was living in an apartment and all that stuff down there. So I ended up having certain circumstances happen down there where I was like, okay, I'm just going to move back up and be near family again. And that's how I made my way back up here again, because my brother was here. Like, the only person that's still down there is my dad. So, that sucks, but it's kind of a choice between one or the other, essentially. And I lived, down there with my, not in my dad's house, but around my dad.
Mm-hmm.
While mom was like in California and then back in Oklahoma again. And so I thought it was just time to live by mom again. So
Yeah.
I made my way back up here, and I mean, I was already I did. I guess I hadn't mentioned that, but yeah, I basically did college, but then I ended up like dropping out of college. I joined the army. I was in that for like 8 years, and
Yeah.
then once that was over, and I wanted to kind of do a career shift on my job because I didn't like my job either, and I just I had no more ties down there basically. So I was like, screw it, I'll just move back up here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. We got Jay Rich in the chat. What's up, Jay Rich? Welcome in, man. So what's there to do in Oklahoma? What is Oklahoma known for besides college football and OKC Thunder?
uh I mean, it's whatever, just like in the town. Tulsa like has like a pretty good like kind of hipster downtown area that's
Okay.
that's fun or whatever. But there's some decent lakes. There's also some really horrible lakes. Uh, there was more to do in Texas, I would say, but
Right.
I don't know. I don't know. It's so hot in the summer. I just don't even care. I don't even be outside. It's like 110 degrees outside, man.
Really? Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
it's bad.
Jeez. It gets that hot, huh?
Oh yeah, it's like
Oh wow.
yeah, it says 106 on my phone right now.
Uh-huh.
And we had no AC for like 9 days straight.
Mm-hmm.
So inside of my house it was like 95 degrees. I was dying.
Mm-hmm. Is there any to do at Oklahoma City?
Oklahoma City's a little better, yeah.
Okay.
But it's still, it's whatever. I mean, the Oklahoma City is much bigger. I never go there, but
Okay.
there's also a bunch of casinos everywhere.
Okay.
Because like the Indian territories can legally have gambling, but you
Yeah.
can't outside of those. So
Mm-hmm.
like part of Tulsa like borders one of the nations. So right when you get in just north of Tulsa, there's just like a ton of casinos, like a bunch of
Okay.
casinos around Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
Whole bunch of casinos like right at the border of Texas. Like a ton of people from Texas, like Dallas and stuff, travel up to come to Oklahoma, cross that border, just hit this little like haven of casinos everywhere. It's
Oh,
pretty funny.
okay.
So a lot
Interesting.
of people come to Oklahoma to gamble as well.
Oh, okay. That's pretty interesting. Wow. So anything besides that, is there anything about Oklahoma that makes it appealing, or if you had a tourist that want to stop by the state, would there be anything to do?
Honestly, for me, I just love like I love fishing. Like there's a lot of good
Okay.
like fishing and things like that.
Okay.
And my mom lives near some water, so I usually when I visit her, I'll go do a little fishing here and there with my
Yeah.
brother or whatever. It's got whatever. It's like every city basically. It's not New York or something. It's like you can compare it. You could actually compare it to like something like San Antonio, just like a smaller version, like
Sure.
Houston, whatever. It's very generic. There's nothing like crazy. Like the sports are all minor league except for like Oklahoma State and Oklahoma, whatever. But
Yeah.
if you want to go to a baseball game, you got to go to the Tulsa Drillers, minor league
Oh,
team. If you
okay.
want to see footy, you can't even go to MLS. You got to go see like the Tulsa Roughnecks or whatever. If you want
I
to
see.
see NFL, you got to drive to Kansas City or Dallas or something. So it's like there's not like major sports. It's basically like it's just a very chill like people that like to go out clubbing and things like that would probably think it was kind of boring, but for somebody like me, I don't really care.
Yeah.
I don't mind it.
Yeah. So then, let's say you go to these like sporting events for like minor leagues. Is there like a huge showing? Like, is there a lot of
Yeah,
people that go to those? Okay.
it's decent. Like the Tulsa Drillers are the team here, and they actually have a pretty good backdrop behind, like, downtown Tulsa, whatever, in the
Yeah.
outfield, and you get super cheap seats like on the grass outside the outfield, or the actual stadium itself is like pretty decent for a minor league team. I've gone to a few games and it's always a good time. Just
Yeah.
the seats are usually not packed. It's not like a sellout or whatever, but you always have a pretty decent crowd there. It's a good time.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely. Is like where you live at pretty like rural? Is it like a small town?
It's like part of Tulsa, basically.
Okay.
So we're like kind of on the outskirts.
Okay.
There's like several places like Broken Arrow, Jinx, Bixby, things like this that are like, attached to Tulsa, but technically they're their own city type of thing. I live in like basically one of those. So I drive a little bit over, then I'm in Tulsa, but technically I'm not in Tulsa right now, but I'm like right next to it, basically attached to it. You can't even tell the difference. It's like the same. It's one big city, but you're a smaller city inside the city kind of a thing. Is weird.
Are you surrounded by a lot of nature?
My house isn't too busy, but like right up the street, there's like a big intersection with like, a bunch of stores, things like that. But to my east, like south and east, there's not like a whole lot. We're kind of on the edge. So if you wanted to like leave town, you just drive southeast and you're gone. You're not very far. It takes like 10 minutes to get out of town. So it's kind of a mix of both a little bit. Like we're in a neighborhood, whatever, but it's like not big city type of thing, or sprawling suburb or whatever. It's like one neighborhood kind of just by itself.
Yeah, because I guess my thought is of Oklahoma is like, besides being in like the cities, like outside of it, would it just be like just plains?
Oh, it's not that bad. Nah.
Okay.
There's a bunch of smaller cities along the way, and it's just like I've driven through Texas and Oklahoma a ton, and they're very similar.
Okay.
There's big stretches between cities, but then Oklahoma actually has smaller stretches between those cities because Texas is so freaking huge. So it's probably a little bit better. But there's parts of Oklahoma you can drive and it's just forests or whatever. But
for sure, plains.
Like west side Oklahoma is actually kind of diverse. Eastern Oklahoma is a lot more green, like more forested kind of. And western is a little bit drier, not as not quite as forested, more plainsy, I guess, would be western. And then if you go up in the Panhandle, you're starting to get toward Colorado, and you get like hilly and like rocky, even some plateaus, things like that.
Okay.
So it's actually like decently diverse. But yeah, I'm more of in the green area. They call it green country because it's like, even during the summer, the grass doesn't die and stuff, even though it's so hot because it's just so muggy. So it's like, yeah, everything's green. We have a ton of trees that are still green and like, flourishing and whatever. Everything dies in the winter because it gets super cold, but
yeah. Cause like, I live in Southern California, so it's hot. It's not like 110 hot because we're close to the beach, but it's very dry. It's very dry out here. So you have like a very it's like a desert terrain,
Yeah, it depends on where you are over there, I guess, because I know I've been to LA one time, and that was when I was over there for like a training mission for the Army or whatever.
Yeah.
We were in Death Valley, which whatever, that's always fun. Fort Irwin, but then we had a day off in LA, so we had like a couple rental vans and spent like a day in LA. So I have been there, but I've been to San Diego a few times because my mom lived there. So I've visited there a few times. And there is definitely a climate difference in the two. So it depends on where you're at. I'm not sure where you're at exactly, but I do love California weather. Although the one time I was there in San Diego, like it rained the whole time, and they were saying how dumb that was because it never rains like that.
Yeah. I actually live in between. I live in Orange County.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, the weather is great. San Diego's awesome too. I mean, LA and San Diego, they're both great in their own ways. I think I like San Diego a bit more because it's just a little nicer.
I do too.
Yeah.
I have been to, what did I go to? I haven't been to a Chargers game back when the Chargers were still there, but Qualcomm Stadium or whatever. I went to Air Force was playing somebody. I went with my mom, stepdad, and my brother. It was a bowl game. I don't remember. It was during the winter, but it still wasn't that cold. It was kind of chilly, but it wasn't cold. But yeah, like the location of that stadium, I love it. Like kind of in a valley and like surrounded by forest areas and stuff like that. Like,
Oh,
you know,
okay.
the highway kind of going over the forested areas. It looks really cool. I like that area a lot,
Yeah.
but uh I do know that traffic is the worst part of those places
Hmm.
by far. Because driving in like San Diego, I think my mom would have to like commute for like an hour and a half one way to get to work. You know, 3 hours of driving every single day, just commuting. Like, no, no, thank you. I'm good.
Hmm.
That's why I can never live in places like that. Drive me crazy.
Well, having been in California too for yourself, I mean, would you prefer living in California or would you like Oklahoma more?
Well, living in California, like weather-wise and things like that, like views and stuff, it would be better.
Yeah.
Dealing with, I think, it's probably a different experience if you're super rich. If you're like living in like an average place or whatever, like in the middle of the city, like you know, it sucks because you're just dealing with traffic everywhere. It takes forever to get anywhere, just like New York or whatever.
Yeah.
Same type of vibe. You know, if you're rich and don't, you know, you live in areas that are not quite as populated, it's probably better. So yeah, if I was
Hmm.
super rich, I'd go live in California.
Like, but like maybe on the outskirts, like in the suburbs, away from like
Yeah, I
crowded
wouldn't be like,
areas.
yeah, like screwed downtown LA, something like that. No, no,
Yeah.
thank you. I would be,
Hmm.
you know, some mansion out in the hills, you know, just chilling, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely. Um, well, it's been about over an hour now, so I think it's a good time to call it a podcast episode. But before I let you go, I do want to ask, do you have any other plans or goals in regards to streaming and creating content?
uh Honestly, right now the goal is to actually get the YouTube going. Like that is the one thing that I want to do.
Okay.
Obviously, you know, if the Twitch channel keeps growing, beautiful. You know, I'm having a great time. You know, we have a pretty good community there, and I'm having a great time with them. You've kind of fostered like more of a chill vibe type of thing. If somebody comes in giving off the wrong vibes, you know, everybody in the chat's like, dude, just relax. It's fine, man. We're all
Hmm.
just here, just having a good time. You know, why are you killing the vibe?
Yeah.
So I want to, that's another goal, is just keep my channel on that type of vibe, you know, just have a great time with people. You know, if people want to follow and all that stuff, obviously that is a goal. Clearly you can keep growing, but if people want to keep on coming through and following, like, man, love everybody for it. And then yeah, hopefully I can get a YouTube going, and that's probably my biggest actual goal at the moment, just learn how to
Okay.
video edit.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely. So I appreciate you coming through, man. I had a blast having this conversation with you, Chris.
Same here, man. It was a great time.
Yeah, and where can people find you if like on Twitch or social media?
Twitch, it is twitch.tv/Ochris, Ochris. And then the Twitter handle is uh, Ochris FUT at the end. So at Ochris FUT.
That's Twitter?
Um, yeah, Twitter.
Okay, got it. And do you use any other? What about TikTok?
TikTok is also Ochris FUT. Yeah, same thing as Twitter.
Okay, and those are the three main platforms that you're active on?
Yeah, and I will be starting the YouTube, but there's no point in following me yet, so I'm not going to
Okay,
plug that.
for
Once I
sure.
start uploading, then I'll, you know, I'll give some shout outs on Twitter or whatever. So if you follow me
Okay.
there, then you'll see that stuff.
Got it. All right. So I'll leave the links in the description below so you guys could check him out and drop him a follow. Um if you could stay a little bit afterwards after the live stream, that'd be great, Chris.
Sure,
And
man.
for everybody else that has tuned in, appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you guys on the next episode.
Much love, everybody.